What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Thriller here, back with another week of the NBA. We take it on Coach Mavity here, week two. And this was honestly a really bad matchup for us. We just did not have a good matchup in anything that Mavity had with Sneasler and Shi Yu. Really just a bad matchup. And having Mary Dactyl, those three just literally beat my entire team. I had no counterplay to them, so there was that. But at the end of the day, we have brought the best team that we can possibly build here. Um, Definitely looking back at some of these some of this match, I actually looked back and I was like, damn, I was really stupid. And I actually brought one move that I probably should not have really needed to bring. So there was that. But overall, I do think that I could have played this game a little bit better. But if you guys are excited, if you haven't already, subscribe if you're new, join the crew today because you'll be thrilling with the king of the crew. And let's go ahead and just get into this matchup here. So I lead off with my Curum, and he brings pretty much exactly everything I expected he would bring, except Rillaboom. He only brought Rillaboom just for Sneasler, which I think is a little bit of a. I'm gonna say I don't think that's a smart bring because it doesn't make any sense to bring that Pokemon just because you want to set up terrain. I just feel like that doesn't make any sense in my but he had his reasons. So he brought us one to two Terra Captains. He had Claydol and Tinkaton as his Terra Captains. And he brought Terra Poison on his Tinkaton, which is very interesting to see Poison. My guess would imagine is that Poison was just there to kind of be an answer to Valiant, since realistically speaking, he does not have a Valiant check. So you can kind of see that being the reason why. But he's lead thing. I'm actually a Choice Specs Kyurem Black. Now, I was thinking of making the prediction for freeze dry, but then I realized something after this battle. I'm a freaking idiot. I have terrible, which means I have Mold Breaker. I can literally just Earth Power for free, except if the Aerodactyl comes in. I'm stupid. But I guess then partially by clicking freeze dry slash ice beam, I catch the Aerodactyl, it just dies. But I feel so stupid for this play you're about to see. So I go for the freeze dry here. They actually reveal it to be Thunder Wave, which means they put a ton of speed on this thing, or put a decent amount of speed on here because I outspeed no speed invested Tinkaton here. So they have put either just a tiny bit of speed in there, or they put a fair amount of speed in there, which I don't know if I agree with that. If you want to be a good defensive check to a lot of things, I don't think you should be running any speed, but it obviously pays off for them. Um, we go for the freeze right here. I'm actually going to make a double into my Venusaur here as he's going to get his rocks up here for free. I figured he would have tried to set up rocks earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my Groot. I'm going to get a sleep powder off, which is huge. Then right here, I actually decide to go into my Celesteela. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's time to set up here. I autotomize up. And right here is partially where I wish I was special or physical. Because it looked like he was slightly more physically defensive and he was a nasty plot variant. And he goes with Volt Switch, and it actually kills me. Now, personally speaking, Nasty Plot with Volt Switch doesn't make any sense to bring against me. Like, if you're Charge Beam Volt Switch, I think that makes more sense because you're going for chip damage and then potentially getting the boost. I think if you're Nasty Plot variant, you don't bring Volt Switch. It doesn't make any sense to really bring Volt Switch because then that just gets rid of your boost. But unfortunately, Rocket Man, which actually probably would have won me the game here, if I also was slightly a better set, could have really came in the clutch here. But unfortunately, he's gonna go down. Tinkaton's gonna come back out here, and I'm actually gonna go straight into my Iron Valiant, get my setup going here. I'm gonna SD here as he hopefully stays asleep. He is. Now, I debated this play right here because close combat with max HP kills this thing. Fire Punch guarantee kills this thing. At +2, it is a roll to KO this Pokemon, so I really debated on clicking SD again, or try to click something potentially baiting out the Terra. He actually goes right up Rillaboom, and I actually make the play of Swords Dancing here, which ended up probably costing me here because now this thing gets a free Grassy Glide into me. But we do knock out the Rillaboom, so it's not going to be a 6-0. But now this Sneasler comes in, and Sneasler now picks me off as it has enough speed to knock me out. And if anything, I do think it's forced to be Jolly, nearly max speed, so he can outspeed my Iron Valiant for that reason. I go into my Hermione as long as I do not see Night Slash. Acrobatics, I can live one because it's not boosted. I go Hermione. I go for the Thunder Wave here as he goes into Tinkaton, or they, I should say. I Hex, get a massive crit, which didn't matter. That was a 2 KO on Tinkaton if it was just max HP. They stay asleep. I decide to take a risk here, and I'm actually going to go for the sub here as they actually still stay asleep. I go for another. So I go for another Hex here, and this Hex did between, I think, Hex, Hex always kills. Hex always 2 KOs here. So these two crits didn't matter, I believe, unless this was Max Bedef, like a specially defensive variant. Then that was probably a roll. They go for the Aerodactyl and actually miss the dual wing beat, which is huge as I get a Thunder Wave off here. Now, I actually revealed that I have Power Gem on this set because I figured they would have made the swap out there, but they go for the dual wing beat, do connect, thankfully get the crit on the sub. Now, I debated on whether I was going to Power Gem or Hex here. I decided to click Hex as I figured they would possibly sack off the Mary Aerodactyl as they do. Now comes in Sneasler, and they're going to click Acrobatics here, which is in range of knocking me out. I then go into my Venusaur. I have to get the sleep powder off. If I don't get the sleep powder off, I lose the game. I get the sleep powder off. Now I get a sub here. They burn one turn of sleep. I now need to get this earth power off. And once again, sleep wants to just tell me no. Basically, if you guys don't know what I mean by sleep tells me no, is because of the fact that besides the Tinkaton, every time I put something to sleep, it has its mandatory one turn sleep. Then on the second turn of sleep, they immediately wake up. So theoretically speaking, they basically get a turn one wake. And I hate that. Now, granted, I can't be mad this time around because I got very lucky on the amount of sleep turns I got with the Tinkaton. But I'm going for Earth Power here. Hopefully get the chip damage and the paralyzation. Pretty much just sell the game there. There's nothing I can do to Sneasler now. Now, when it came to my dingering here, there was a couple of plays I was thinking because he knows I'm Terra Rock. There's two plays he makes here. He either goes for the Dire Claw or the Acrobatics here. I don't think he ever clicks close combat here. There's no reason for him to ever realistically do that. And then I was gonna see if I could pick up a KO, but let's be honest, there's no way I'm gonna be able. If I actually got chip damage off on him, Store Power may have been able to knock him out, and then Kyurem could have maybe had a chance. It would have came down if I would have lived one hit from the Chi Yu and didn't die to a Thunderbolt or this. I still could have probably most likely would have lost this game. But so I'm gonna go ahead and Terra Rock here as he actually goes Skulls Combat, which I don't really understand why. I guess if you lose a 50-50, it doesn't end up hurting you. I mean, I feel like you just don't close combat when you know I can stay non-Terra. I just feel like that doesn't make any sense. But I guess they had their reasons to go for it. I mean, regardless, I mean, even though I stayed there, they were probably doing probably about, if I remember, it was like max HP and near max defense bold. So I think they would have at least done around between 50 to 60%. So it would put me in 40% range. But then I basically just died to a Chi Yu here. So I guess in hindsight, they just, and then plus, if I'm store powered, they probably lose nothing clicking that because it means that, they can pretty much live a non boosted store power hit. So I guess I can see now why they went for it. I still don't know if I would agree going for that, especially if I'm psychic though. Like I don't know if I agree with that, but they made their play, and at that point in time, there's nothing I can do, and they're gonna win the game 3-0. We realistically should not have a chance to win that game, but we did. If I got that Earth Power damage off, I probably would have stayed where I was. Now again, like I said, we would have probably had if it was Specs Chi, I think regardless I would have lost. But if it was standard Scarf Chi, as long as I don't get para, I think I nab one KO at least with my Kyurem. And I think depending if the Rotom has to go for Thunderbolt or Volt Switch, depending on the range of health I'm at, then we could still potentially win this 1-0 if we're not paralyzed, or they would have won it potentially 1 or 2-0. So there was that. I also think maybe going Scarf would have been better in this match. I think Scarf could have provided a lot more better utility, or sub, or just having speed in general. Maybe I don't know. But overall, it's just how a game goes, man. I also played this game while being in a call with friends, and Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Probably wasn't as focused as I should have been for this matchup. I think regardless, I still was gonna lose. I just didn't have anything for this team, and I think that's the one problem with my top heavy draft here. Like I was pretty much forced not to bring my Darkrai just because Darkrai is just it gets taken advantage of easily. Like Rillaboom's priority, Tinkaton can just wall it. Aerodactyl, if it gets a Dragon Dance up, I can't take a hit. Like there's just so many ways I could not have been able to win this game with height. And also to deal with Chiyu, I would have to rely on Focus Blast and have to land probably at least two to knock that thing out. One depending on damage rolls and stuff. So I don't know. Plus, dealing with Sneasler, it was not gonna be. I mean, Sneasler could always outspeed me at +2, so there was nothing I could have done to stop it. Like I said, the Rillaboom only came for this reason for Sneasler. I personally don't know if I agree bringing Rillaboom just for Sneasler, especially in a matchup where Rillaboom does bad. I feel like you're just bringing a five-mon team then. I mean, obviously Rillaboom got to do something, but it ended up being useless in the matchup, so it's what it is. But we'll go on to week 3. I actually have not been prepping lately for my games, and I think it's just because I'm just being so tired and work's almost done. I got one more full month of work that's gonna really push me to my limit, man. From the day this video is being recorded, which I'm probably gonna upload on the 30th, which is as you can see in the bottom right hand corner, is a Tuesday and the second to last day of July. And so I had to go from basically July 31st to September 3rd. Basically, it's on a Monday for Labor Day. Basically, on Labor Day is my last official day of working all the busy, tedious, long days and don't have to stress about anything else for months, except for the occasional events that we might have. But basically after August and Labor Day, I'm done with all the busy stuff I'm going to be going through with work, and I can start doing a lot more leagues, have a lot more time to prep, and give you guys some good content. But I want to give a shout out to Hermione. Hermione picking up 2 KOs this week. Really happy that set actually worked out a lot better than I was hoping it would be, actually. Celesteela, very sad I didn't pop that set off better. I think I could have popped that set off a lot better. If I was Wakamberry, I think I was even debating potentially Wakamberry. I think if I was Wakamberry, I think I actually would have had a solid chance in that matchup. But hey, what can you do about it? But yeah, GG's though to Mavity. I kind of just been rambling at this point, but GG's to them. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe if you're new, join the crew today because you'll be thrown in the King of the crew. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.